regulations on capitalism to prevent exploitation. Things like artificial resource scarcity, artificial inflation, price gouging, being able to profitize by breaking society and hurting the civilians, and like we need regulations on capitalism to prevent those things. Like I am a fan of rent control, price control on food. I would like to see all basic needs met, that people don't have to struggle for food, water, shelter, which, you know, shelter that would include like controlled environment, plumbing, you know, toiletry. You know, as the homeless crisis has increased, like more and more people are becoming homeless. There's people pooping on the side of the road. This has caused cholera and tuberculosis outbreaks that we haven't seen since the 1800s. And this is causing people to die. This is a big problem. This is an issue. People need a place where you know, excrement is treated like what it is. It's excrement. It needs to be handled properly. You don't just have poop laying out on the side of the street where people walk, and so this seriously cause problems. People need places to live. They need homes. I don't appreciate gentrification. That's causing inflation of you know, like you know, property values to increase exponentially. People are losing their homes over this. People are losing their homes over various types of disabilities. You know, because we've red taped the ADA, so employers are, there's no guarantee that the employer does not have to accommodate you. They don't have to. It's not required anymore, really. They found so many legal loopholes, and it's these companies have been deregulated to the point they don't have to. You're not guaranteed a job, and even if you get a job, you're not guaranteed to be accommodated for your restrictions, for your disability. You're not guaranteed any financial assistance. You're not guaranteed even so much as food stamps or Medicaid. Medicaid, they look like, I told Medicaid that my fiance and my boyfriend, you know, him and I, we've been together for 9 years. As far as they're concerned, as far as I've told them, you know, he's just a roommate. Because we're not legally married, you know, we've not gone to the court and signed paperwork. We want to do that. Right now, I really want to. I need the health insurance. Because this is the thing, when I was applying for Medicaid, is that they look at it like, well, you know, it doesn't matter that he's just a roommate. It's a two-person household, and I cannot believe how low this number is for a two-person household. For a two-person household, if you make more than $24,000 a year, you do not apply for Medicaid. Well, my fiance makes more than $24,000 a year, so I couldn't get Medicaid. I can't get health coverage. They won't let me. And even though, and I think that this is a good thing that the government says that, you know, healthcare is not mandatory in the sense of legal terms, like punishing people for not having health insurance is mean. That's not how you get everyone insured, by holding a bureaucratic thing to the back of their head saying you have to get health insurance or we're going to come and take all, like, you know, they probably don't have health insurance because they don't have enough money to afford it, and you want to penalize them by taking their money. You know, that's not productive. That's the opposite of being progressive and productive. You know, you're just hurting the people that are already hurting in the first place. But so, you know, now it's not a law. You don't legally have to have health insurance, but the companies that own the hospitals and the doctor's offices and stuff, they're starting to come forward and say, we don't take private payers. So if you don't have health insurance, they're saying we don't have to serve you. We don't have to do anything. So this is like I've been abandoned by healthcare in more than one way. Like, I pretty much can't see my doctor because I don't have health insurance, and most won't take me because I'm a chronic pain patient with a very rare, complex chronic pain condition that's left me permanently partially disabled. This is horrible. And on top of that, you're not guaranteed anything to manage your pain, to see if that can help you go and get an employment and get a job, to a medication to manage your pain. That's been taken away too. Now, this is highly unsustainable. This has caused a lot of people to become homeless. Another example of why I want regulations on capitalism, I did a deep dive into this, into ISPs. So right now, ISP companies are petitioning the Senate. Even though net neutrality was destroyed, Biden's been trying to bring it back. He wants to bring back net neutrality, but he can't find somebody to put as the head director of the FCC. And every time he comes with a candidate, lobbyists that work for ISP companies, they have all this money that they use to attack that candidate and spread lies and rumors and commit character assassinations, and say horrible things about them all over the internet, all over social media. And on top of that, the Republicans, every time he nominates somebody to be the director of the FCC, the Republicans go, nope, we don't like him. We hate him. One of them was really messed up because she was black. That's messed up. That's so messed up. That's messed up. So, he can't, basically, there's a libertarian that he's looking at of putting as the board of director over FCC that agrees with net neutrality, that gives us, the consumers, freedom. Getting rid of net neutrality, the citizens do not gain from this. We lose. The only people that benefit from getting rid of net neutrality are the ISP companies. And right now, even though we've gotten rid of net neutrality, which worked in their favor, not ours, in theirs, in the ISP corporations' favor, they're still petitioning Congress because some of them Spectrum particularly, made an agreement with the FCC. They bought 4 other ISP companies, and I thought it was just Time Warner that they bought. No, apparently it was 4. The other 3 I'd never heard of, but the agreement is that for 7 years they would not throttle the internet, and they wouldn't do these other various things that can happen with the absence of net neutrality. Well, they're petitioning the government to get rid of that 7-year agreement, and the reason why is they want to data cap our internet. So you're talking about 1 terabyte per month of a data cap. They want to charge extra for streaming services because they're mad that people are streaming instead of getting cable. So they're this is the future of TV, is streaming, so we want to charge extra. We want to charge for streaming services, and on top of that, put a data cap on our internet. They want to be able to throttle the internet, which they already are doing, and I've actually done an experiment with this. If you attach to my Wi-Fi and you try to access your bank app on your mobile phone, or your Yahoo Mail, suddenly the internet will go really, really stupid slow, and it will. When you open the apps, whether it's your banking app or Yahoo Mail, I'm sure there's other sites that it does this too as well, but these are the ones I know for sure. you pretty much should just set your phone down and walk away, because it's going to be like 20 minutes before it loads up. And you know, I've experimented. I turned off the Wi-Fi and gone to my Yahoo Mail or my bank app, and it loads up like that, no problem, on my cell phone provider's internet. So and come to find out, there's already been lawsuits where Spectrum has settled out of court because people have taken them to court and caught them throttling their internet. That's already happened. But Spectrum wants the ability to data cap our internet and charge for streaming services. And the thing is they have localized monopolies. There's areas of the United States where Spectrum, like, there are no other providers in those areas, and in those areas, the lowest base internet that you can get from them is 300 megabits per second. Well, in these areas where there's no competitors, they charge up to $200 for this 300 megabits per second. No phone service, no cable and anything like that. Just plain simple 300 megabits per second of internet. $200. And in areas where Spectrum has competition, like Comcast, AT&T Uverse, or other, internet service providers in big cities where there's, local internet service providers that you don't have anywhere else, or Google Fiber, they only charge $84 for the 300 megabits per second package. And the thing that I've also pointed out is, like, internet's become forced consumerism. I mean, society has become so dependent on the internet. Most of what I've been doing, working with vocational rehab counselors, state social workers, I even applied for financial assistance for my internet bill through the FCC. I had to do that through the internet. It's like I have to apply for financial assistance to get internet by using the internet. How much sense does that make? Most of this stuff, like even healthcare stuff, like getting medical bills and all on the internet. And like when it comes to jobs and stuff, like as far as looking for an employer that might accommodate me, the paper applications are gone. You go to an employer, like an actual employer site, and like has a hiring sign in the window. You're like, okay, I'm looking to apply. Usually nowadays they hand you a card with like a QR code on it or a website. They want you to apply online. They don't have paper applications anymore. Most places. In fact, I don't know of any place that has paper applications. It's all online. This is forced consumerism. Like if I could get by with turning off my internet, I would. Like, screw it. It's not a need. It's become a need. There's government agencies that, like IRS and SSA and stuff like that, just operates off the internet now. So this is forced consumerism. Like, if you don't have internet, there's a lot of things that you can't do that you need to be able to do. This is bad. So if they're owning monopolies and you have to have internet in order to find employers or do certain things that are you have to do or you get in big trouble, you have to pay Spectrum, like in certain areas, $200 just for the lowest rate internet that they have, which is $200 for 300 megabits per second, and on top of that, they're going to throttle your internet. And then we were told, and they got rid of net neutrality. Oh, we won't let people paywall you. Well, okay, there's paywalls now. I'm pretty sure National Geographic is one. If you want to look at National Geographic, magazines, you have to pay a subscription to even access it. It doesn't treat the internet like a phone call anymore like it used to. And so you have forced consumerism, which is not free market capitalism. And it's getting to the point where they can charge whatever they want, and you have no choice. You have to pay it. They want to charge you for streaming service. So I don't know what that means when they say charge for streaming. Does that mean I have to pay Amazon for the Amazon Prime membership or Netflix for their membership, plus I have to pay my internet service provider to be able to stream it? Is that what that means? Or does it mean that I pay my internet service provider and then I can stream those things? And then what happens to the account that I've already established where I have bought digital copies of things to own? Does that mean I lose that? So Amazon just collects a bunch of money from me, and then, I mean, what will data capping do to gaming? I mean, you know, video games today are not what they used to be. You know, I don't think they're 4K, but some games are actually 4K now that I think of it. But online gaming, PvP servers, all that, like these are HD games. It may not be 4K, but they're at least HD. They're at least 1080p. And for PS4, PS5, Xbox One, what is gaming like when you have a data cap on your internet? What is it going to do to content creators? Especially now the way that YouTube operates, these bigger channels, how they make their money is, and I don't agree with this. I would never, I don't agree with doing this. Like, I'm going to do nothing but 4-hour live stream so I can collect the super chat money and then threaten the audience that if they don't donate more money, I'm going to stop the stream until I get the money it's horrible when they do that. But what is it going to do to their career? Like, if that's how they make their money, is doing these 4-hour live streams with the super chat donations? How much data does that suck up to live stream for 4 hours at a time? And then, they take their live stream and they break it up into segments and then release those segments as individual videos. And that's going to take up internet bandwidth to upload these 4K videos and whatnot. What does that do when your internet's been data capped? And I posted all this on the subreddit of Spectrum, and I had all these people. I assume they're probably people probably lobbyists and shit like that work for Spectrum, come out of the woodwork, or come and start saying mean things to me, going like brah, what's the big deal? Every company works like this. Basically telling me like, shut up. And it's like, so we're all cool with this. We're all cool with the internet company charging whatever they want for whatever they want. Oh, that was another thing. They want to be able to charge for how many devices you have hooked up to your internet. They want to cap that. Like the starting rate, I think they're proposing is 5 devices. Anything more than, if you want to attach more than 5 devices, you have to pay. It's like, so we're okay with that. We're okay with them charging us whatever they feel like, whatever they want, for whatever they want. I'm not okay with that. Because, again, this is forced consumerism. That's messed up. So yeah, I do think that there should be regulation in place to keep them from doing that. I don't agree with that at all. So I suppose in that sense, I am an authoritarian against corporation, or authoritarian towards corporations, and moderating like how they conduct business. And like one of the things that I said was a message to the right wingers is that like if you guys want to restore people's faith in capitalism, maybe one thing you should focus on doing is making sure that you're advocating for free market capitalism and not crony capitalism, because what I've just outlined is not free market capitalism, that's crony capitalism. There's nothing free market about forcing someone to have to buy a service and charging a ridiculous amount of money and then charging for every little thing with it, like charge for the app, charge for how many things do you have attached, charge for what you're streaming, how much you're streaming. I mean, just that this is ridiculous. Like, we need net neutrality back. Like, does that benefit the companies? No. But it benefits us, the civilians, the people. And the companies are still going to be making their money. It's just saying you can't grow your profits by price gouging us, by monopolies, by localized monopolies, by cheating the system. And as far as I'm concerned, the streaming services, like I thought this was part of free market capitalism. Like, streaming is more convenient. It seems to be a better product, a better service than cable, to watch all these commercials and pay for it. So the commercials are paying for all the broadcasting, plus you're paying for it because you have to pay for the service. And you do streaming, it's like you buy the membership and then all you need is internet. I thought that's how free market capitalism worked, is that when a better product comes along, it's like out with the old, in with the new. That's how it's supposed to be. It's cheaper, it's more convenient, it's more user friendly, it's better for the civilians, because like somebody who lives in poverty, they can probably more easily afford internet and a Netflix membership to watch TV than they can to really be put in the position of it's either cable or internet, but not both. Well, you're gonna have to go with internet, but you can't stream anything. Sorry, so no TV. So this was a good product, and basically the ISP companies that have also ran cable, or connect your TV so you can watch cable television. They're basically saying, but we can't profitize off of the streaming services, and we want to. So they're trying to control the market. That's messed up. This isn't right. This is wrong. And it's hurting the civilians because it's putting people in a position they can't win. So it's like, I'm at the point where it's like we either need to restore net neutrality or we need to turn internet into a utility. Hopefully we can just get net neutrality back. I looked at what the right-wing concern is for net neutrality, and the biggest concern that made the most sense to me, a lot of it didn't make sense. A lot of it was irrational fears. The one that made the most sense was that they were afraid that the FCC would overstep their bounds by abusing their authority. Sorry, I got an itch, but all the nerves are sensitive. Hold on. Okay. you know, in light of what the CDC did with what the CDC is doing with medications, is, you know, like medications for ADHD and mood disorders, and you know, benzodiazepines for PTSD and generalized panic and anxiety disorder, and medications for chronic pain patients with severe intractable chronic pain. You know, that's a prime example of the CDC abusing their power and overstepping their bounds. Prime example of that. The CDC has an illustrious history of that. You know, they in this, what was it, the 70s, they infected all the black men with syphilis just to watch them die. You know, that was an abuse of their power as a government agency. And then, you know, in the 80s rolled around, they told Reagan not to worry about it because the CDC director at that time told Reagan, who cares if the LGBTQ community has HIV rolling around in it? They're just a bunch of cigarette words. So we possibly could have been getting medication to curtail and keep. We might have come out with PrEP a lot sooner than what we did, had it not been for the CDC abusing their power then and being very homophobic, and then, you know, the racist crap that they did in the 70s, and there were some things that the CDC has done to prevent things like birth control, so they participated in misogyny, and now they can add ableism to their list by taking away pain meds from chronic pain patients, and actually have contributed to a lot of chronic pain patients or people with chronic illnesses, people who've needed medical needs, have died. A lot have died from this. So now the CDC can add ableism to that list. So I understand the fear of a government agency abusing their power and overstepping their bounds, and I think that there does need to be a check and balance system in there so that they don't do that. You know, there needs to be like a process that's followed, you know, but I don't know that the FCC has done a whole lot in its history of existence of abusing its power and overstepping its bounds, but I think that there should be something in place to keep them from doing that. I don't think dismantling is the goal, or should be the goal. I don't think that should be the case. And fact of the matter, we should get net neutrality back, because the citizens benefit from that. And I think it's so bizarre that people keep advocating for things that do not benefit the civilians at all. They advocate for things. The only people that will, it's not really people, the only things that will benefit from a lot of this stuff that's going on are not the civilians, the United States citizens. It's the major corporations. The major conglomerate corporations are the only ones that are going to benefit. And it's actually going to hurt the large majority of the U.S. population, which is the citizens. It's going to hurt us. It's going to hurt us. It's literally going to cause harm to us. Just so they can make, you know, $2 billion more dollars per year every year. Keep climbing up. This concludes the third one. There will be a fourth one, and I will have that uploaded as soon as possible. And it's looking like there may be a fifth or
6th.